The 4% rule may just be the most famous rule in retirement planning. And today, I'm going to tell you why I believe it's completely outdated and why I tell a lot of my clients to consider ignoring it. Financial experts have been discussing the 4% rule for decades as a general guidelines for withdrawals. Here's the issue. The 4% rule was created in the 90s. It's not optimized for everyone's situation. And I think you could even be taking on too much risk. For high earning sales leaders, following the 4% rule may result in the perfect way to die with way too much money left in your accounts and not live the life you want. So in this video, I'm going to give you an alternative, a system that may allow different withdrawal strategies. And I'll show you exactly how my multi-bucket system could make that possible. For context, if you're new here, I'm Mondo Celavanti. I'm a CFP professional and the founder of Freedom Path Wealth. All right, so first, let's just be really clear about what the 4% rule is. It's a statistical model that was created by some guy back in the 90s, and it says if you have a moderately aggressive portfolio, you should be able to take out 4% a year of your money, and you probably won't run the risk to run out of it. I believe it's deeply flawed. It's not designed to get you the most income, and it leaves you exposed to market crashes right when you need the money the most and may leave you exposed to market risk. It's a passive approach that quite frankly just forces you to hope and pray that the market goes up long term. So with the 4% rule, I'm not necessarily saying that it can't work, but it's not perfect. And by the way, I don't think any strategy is necessarily perfect, but I don't like this for this reason. As a hypothetical example, let's say I have $5 million and I'm a retiree and I'm 65 years old, that I'm going to take money out for the rest of my life. 4% of 5 million is $200,000 a year. So I'm going to spend $200,000 a year and I have $5 million. If I get a market crash early in retirement, my diversified portfolio that might just be in stocks and bonds and maybe a couple other creative things, if I was good about how I'm managing my money, that's just not going to be what gets me to the point that I can maximize my lifestyle. Why? Because the market crash affects me. And if I have a $5 million portfolio that gets a market crash, 4% of 5 million is no longer what I'm taking. I'm taking a higher percentage of a lower dollar amount now. So the same statistical model or research that I was following does not hold true. Some people that advocate for the 4% rule might go and say, oh, well, just spend less money. Spend less money. I worked my whole career so hard to get to this point, to finally retire, do all the things I want to do, bless all the people around me. And now you're telling me I got to spend more money and minimize my lifestyle, not maximize it and be generous and give? This is not the way to do things. So because of that, in this example, there is perceived liquidity. What you have there is $5 million with a $200,000 per year withdrawal rate. That it's liquid, but it's really not, because if too much is taken out, you're hurting your longevity in your retirement planning, and the risk of running out of money just went up significantly. All right, quick break. If you're watching this and realizing that your entire financial plan is built on this shaky hope and pray strategy, I could potentially help. My team and I build dynamic retirement income plans that are designed to adapt to different market conditions. If you want to see what that looks like for you, there's a link in the description. Book a call with me and we could chat. All right, let's get back to it. So if the 4% rule is wrong, what's right? It's a multi-bucket system that separates your money based on its job. Instead of just having one big pile of money that you're hoping it lasts, you have specific buckets for specific scenarios. It gives you control, allows you to be strategic, and most importantly, you're not passive anymore. This is how you help protect yourself from market volatility while still focusing on what you need today. So with the bucket approach, 5 different buckets that you're putting your money into. First and foremost, short-term cash reserves that cover anything that could come up in the next year for yourself. Typically going to be 1 year of your discretionary expenses. Another bucket is going to be to cover your guaranteed expenses. So if I have necessary expenses, guaranteed sources of income, could get a market downturn or a recession, you could tap into this. Third bucket is going to be our growth bucket. Typically we look at like 20 years of your discretionary expenses to equal out to what your growth is. So if you have that, this money's only purpose is to outpace inflation and make sure that your net worth grows even while you're taking income, so that we can increase your income strategically in the future as your expenses go up. Bucket number 4 is going to be for market crashes. We typically want to have about 4 years of your income in this bucket, your discretionary income, so that if we get a market crash or a recession, you could tap into this, take money out of it, and better yet, you could replenish your growth bucket when the market's down potentially. Bucket 5, this is money we set aside for the specific cost of healthcare. So if we get medical expenses, where are we going to take take it from, it's going to be bucket number 5. Usually 1 to 2 years of your discretionary expenses is what it comes out to. But with all of these, this is not specific advice to go take and implement today. It's for educational purposes only, and how you design your strategy should be done specifically with a financial professional because everybody's situation is different. So now you know, this isn't just a theory I made up to sound controversial. This is the system I believe in, and it's an approach I frequently discuss with clients as a part of the broader planning process.